Yay! Hi, everyone.
Oh,
What's going on?
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
good
Good
morning.
afternoon.
Good morning.
Welcome to Hollywood Squares.
Aw.
Our stars on Hollywood Squares are Tommy Brocco,
Yay!
Ezzy Oakley,
Woo!
Adam Pascal,
Yay!
Laura Osnes, coaching,
Oh, right. How do I change that?
Andy Carl, and Orphan.
Yay!
We want to introduce ourselves. Who wants to go first?
Go for it, Tommy.
Yeah.
So, do we say what we've done? Is that
Yeah!
I don't really know. What do we do? Okay, cool. So, hi, everybody. I am Tommy Brocco. I live in Staten Island, New York. I have been in the Broadway shows Pretty Woman and Newsies. I just finished doing Big Brother, the CBS reality show, which is weird. And that's me. Yeah.
Yay! Desi. Okay. Hi, I'm Desi Oakley. I most recently, I guess, did Roxy Hart in Chicago on Broadway, and the national tour of Waitress, where I played Jenna, and I've done other Broadway shows, and I'm also a singer-songwriter and have songs on iTunes and Spotify, and that's me. I'm happy to be here.
Hooray! Should I go next?
Yeah.
Hi guys, I am Laura Osnes. I am originally from Minnesota, but also live in New York on Manhattan, and hope you're all doing okay and thriving during this time. I have done 6 Broadway shows, probably best known for Cinderella. And I just did a musical called Bandstand a couple years ago that was streamed on Playbill this past week. And I get to be in an episode of Dynasty that airs tonight at 9 p.m. So tune in.
Yes, girl.
That's amazing.
I can't wait to tune in. Is it 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
9 p.m. Eastern Standard on the CW.
Eastern Standard Time. Yes.
CW.
Who do you play in Dynasty? Are you someone rich and fabulous?
Oh yes.
Oh,
play
good. Oh, I can't wait.
a sister named Donna who is hired to sing at an event. So I get to sing in the episode too. It's really fun.
Genius.
Laura, I think you've forgotten one of your credits with me.
Yes, Andy Carl. We did On the Town together with the Boston Pops.
That was
where you
hilarious.
basically carried me around the stage for 2 hours.
Yeah, while you're singing high notes on my show.
Yeah. It was a grand old.
I guess we're next.
Oh, hi, I'm Orphe. I've done a few Broadway shows. I think most recently I did Pretty Woman with Andy Carl, Adam Pascal, and Tommy Brocco.
Wow. Dreams.
He was my opposite on stage in every scene. Otherwise, I was all by myself. I'm kidding. And I did Legally Blonde, the musical, originated the role of, actually, I'm the only person who ever played the role of Paulette on Broadway. So that's me.
Word.
Yes.
And I'm Andy Carl. I'm married to this lovely lady here. We've been in 3 Broadway shows together, as a matter of fact. Pretty Woman, was it 3? Yes. We met in Saturday Night Fever many, many years ago. Pretty Woman was our last one, and Legally Blonde, where I played Kyle, the UPS guy, to this wonderful woman. You may have seen me in other stuff, Rocky, Groundhog Day, and I was on Law and Order SVU for a season. Someone's calling.
Sorry, that was me.
Is that me? My turn? Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Adam Pascal, and 25 years ago I was in Rent, and then since then I've done some other stuff, and I am a Scorpio, and
Me too.
I got
Hi,
the
guys.
unfortunate. Hey, Kevin.
Oh, now we can start officially.
Finished giving my bio. I had the unfortunate
Go for
SAT score of 890. And I am a Bronx native.
Woo!
There you go.
Yeah, Bronx.
I didn't know that. You seem so like California to me.
1 second.
Wow.
True.
Oh God, I hate it here.
You can clearly tell this Broadway community is super small and we all know and love each other.
Yes. Who's next in the bios?
We're
you
done.
are.
That was it, Kevin.
We just
You're
finished.
up.
You
Harvey.
are.
Okay. Hi, I'm your host for this afternoon's webinar for Cameo. I'm Kevin Chamberlin. My bio is I was born in Moorestown, New Jersey in 1963, a little South Jersey town, Jersey in the house. And I went to Rutgers and moved to New York in '85 and struggled for many years. And then my first Broadway show was My Favorite Year. I started out in the chorus, which I'm going to talk to everyone about. And now I live in Los Angeles. And I'm married with the same person for 30 years. So, actor who is now a television writer and producer named Michael Gans, and he writes on Siren, a wonderful show about mermaids. So anyway, this is my script for everyone. Hi, everybody. Hi, thanks for tuning in.
Kevin.
You're watching Cameo Cares live stream, Cameo's first virtual 3-day event raising money to benefit those impacted with COVID-19. And while you're watching, you can donate by clicking the link in the description or by going to cameo.com, where all the purchases will support COVID-19 relief efforts, which we applaud. I am your host for Behind the Curtain. Ooh, behind the Broadway curtain. Today I'll be getting up close and personal, so watch out, guys. With the wonderful Desi Oakley, Tommy Brocco, Andy Carlin Orthe, Adam Pascal, and Laura Osnes. Coachings.
I know. Sorry, I'm on my coach.
Laura coaches, by the way. She's a wonderful coach. So I wanted to make my first question very cameo-centric. What is the oddest cameo request you guys have had? And or like, how many times? Like Adam was telling me, Adam got me onto Cameo and was my.
And I still make money from that. Thank you.
Referral. Doing very well.
Keep going, Kevin. Keep going.
Yeah. And what Adam told me, he sings "Light Your Candle." So
No. Seasons of Love. The oddest cameo I ever get is if I'm asked to do something other than Seasons of Love. That's the oddest cameos I ever.
There you go.
How about you guys, Andy?
I think nothing crazy. The first request, like, I think when you first get on Cameo, you're like, I better do I'm gonna be so good at this. I got my first one was somebody asking for a birthday, and you were like, sing something from some of your shows. So I did a 3-minute medley of like every song that I did ever, and I was like, I win Cameo. And now it comes in, I'm like, all right, I can't do that again. This is getting old. So I try to make it new every time.
It takes about a half an hour to upload that, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I am like.
So yeah, it's just I'm trying to give everybody something new each time.
How about Desi?
I have sung for it's not necessarily the oddest, I think it's the coolest maybe, and I was so humbled to sing for a proposal. So it was sort of to like, and it was so you know how they can only tell us what they need in a really short amount of time?
Right.
So clearly thought out, using like you instead of you, and really like detailed. And it was that he was going to use the video to distract his girlfriend, but also use it as so I needed to kind of be just like super chill, like, hey, I'm Desi Oakley, thanks for this, and then kind of segue into like, and now turn around, or like well, I mean, talk about like pressure, right? So I redid it, you guys. I had 13 different ones on my camera. I tried so hard, and I mean, totally. Apparently it went really well. So
Good. That's all that matters.
I literally got the chills when you just said like, and now turn around. Like,
I know. I was like, God. Anyway.
How about you, Tommy?
What was that? Did you say me?
How about you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So not odd like Desi, but this one I thought was really special. So I've been getting a lot of cameos that say, my child is a senior in high school and they are missing out on their graduation, on their prom. So the other night we had our own graduation prom. I dressed up in a suit. I played some music. I was dancing like we were at the prom.
Cute.
Like a cap and gown on and handed a diploma to the camp.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That is amazing.
You've gone above and beyond. Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Tip.
cool. Yeah, it was great.
Laura, how about you?
I think my weirdest one I got not that long ago, and it wasn't weird, it's fine, it just takes some work, was that it was a mom and dad that was like, my daughter loves to sing and write songs. Please go to her Instagram, and if you could sing the latest song she uploaded, that would be great.
Wow.
And I was like, do you have sheet music? Is there a lyric sheet? So I did go to her Instagram and I watched the video, but I was like, I don't know the song. I don't know this song, and it doesn't exist anywhere. This kid wrote it, and it's a video. So I tried to capture the title, the name of the chorus, and put some of her lyrics in what I was saying, but I didn't I felt bad because I was like, I don't know, I can't just learn your song for a moment for this cameo, but I love you and good job and you're amazingly talented.
Fantastic.
Was that before the pandemic or after?
No, it was during. It was during. It was probably 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm I sometimes get crazy requests, but I'm like, what else am I doing? I guess I had to learn Fergalicious.
Oh, no. No.
To the T, to the A, to the S-T-E-Y. It was really, the weirdest one I had was, could you go up to the camera, say, Bertram, which is the character of this character of mine on Jessie, this Disney channel, go Bertram, and then run 30 feet back, and then say, Jim and Bonnie, the names of the people, and then run back towards the camera and go Bertram, and that's it.
There and away and then back. So there and gone and come back.
Yes, back and forth.
Okay.
And I was like, this is easy, and I get a little cardio, and if they script it, I'm like, yeah, script it for me.
Yeah.
I'll do that anytime. So. Here's a question. What was you guys' first Broadway show that you saw?
Who wants to go first?
Go for it, Tommy.
Okay. I saw Beauty and the Beast that
Me
was
too.
the show that I saw, and it changed my life. I was dancing in the aisles, and my mother and father were embarrassed because they're like, I'm sorry, dancing in the aisles, but the people around us were apparently just like, no, he's loving it. Let him do his thing. He's enjoying it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was that for me. And then I went to see The Lion King and got an asthma attack. That was my second Broadway
Oh
show.
my gosh.
You learned how dusty.
No, he's just doing his thing.
How about you, Laura?
My first was Contact, randomly. It was at Lincoln Center. Yeah, choreographed by Susan Stroman. And my first trip to New York was on a high school theater field trip, and that was the first show of 5 we saw that weekend.
Wow.
Adam?
I think I'm pretty sure it was Annie. And it must have been when was Annie on Broadway? Late 70s? I was a little kid. I don't really have any specific memories of it other than that was the show that I saw first. And I don't think I saw another show on Broadway until Les Mis in the late 80s.
Wow.
So yeah, big stretch there.
Andy, Orphe?
That's funny because Adam just gave my exact answer. I saw Annie as a child because my neighbors in my building, the young girl had auditioned to play an orphan and didn't get it. I guess they had put her through what we would later know as the rigors of 75 auditions, and she didn't get it. So they gave her tickets to the show as a nice gesture.
Consolation prize.
That was literally the first show I saw as a child. I don't think I wasn't in double digits in my life yet, okay? And it was the original cast. I saw Andrew McArdle, and I too did not see another Broadway show till the mid to late 80s after that. So that's exactly what we just went, because New Yorkers didn't go to the theater. They tried to get us out of the city on the weekends or any downtime. They're like, get out.
Well, the last place you wanted to go was Times Square. It was like crack whores.
It's still the last place I want to go.
That's exactly
What about
you. Same.
Oh, Andy, what was yours?
Oh, yeah. Phantom of the Opera on a high school field trip from Baltimore, where I'm from. And then the next year was Into the Woods. So I got like this, Phantom of the Opera to a teenager seeing it for the first time. It's pretty amazing. Like smoke and mirrors and chandeliers and, masks and, all sorts of stuff. You can imagine, I was like, if there's anything I want to do, I want to be like just somebody carrying a staff somewhere on Phantom of the Opera. Please put me on that stage. So that was the first one.
Very cool. How about
Tommy had my exact answer. It's Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it's amazing. I was young and I remember absolutely falling in love with the magic of it. And I think I was a Disney kid growing up. So seeing that possibility of something that was such a dream, as a child, and something that I heavily related to, then come to life before me. I mean, so I think, I'm grateful it was that. Yeah.
It caught the bug. You caught the bug.
100%.
My husband actually was the assistant director on the original Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my God.
The guy I went to college with, Rob Roth, directed it. Mine was 1979. I saw Sweeney Todd and Peter Pan in the same day.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Sandy Duncan.
Two extremes.
You gotta, on YouTube, type in Sandy Duncan, Peter Pan. There's the I'm flying scene. It'll give you chills and take your breath away.
Wow.
The BBC came in and filmed it, and it was really incredible. Now, a lot of people here have gone into shows that were already running. And a couple of us have started out in the chorus. I know, Andy, you were in the chorus of, what was your first?
On Broadway or just?
Yeah, on Broadway.
First job on Broadway was Saturday Night Fever. Yes.
But talk about going into a show that's already running. Desi, you did Waitress on the road, right?
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
do you feel like I felt like it was going into a machine. It's a different experience than actually creating a role.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, my Broadway debut was Wicked, which was like the most well-oiled machine of all time. And I'm so glad it was that for me, because I think it taught me work ethic and what was expected of me in a good way. It was like, I put aside all of sort of my expectations, and I was just in it. And I don't know, I'm kind of grateful for that. But yeah, it is different than originating for sure. With
We have 3 Wicked people. Andy, you were in Wicked, right?
Yeah. I came in.
I just finished doing The Wizard.
Yeah, it is a well-oiled machine. Like you said, it was really interesting because going into that show, I felt like, here's your role, and you don't do any variations of it. My next replacement, or something that came up later, was Jersey Boys, where it's like, really own it as your own thing, and so there's different ways of going into the show, but yeah, definitely, like you said, Desi, it's about going into something and feeling secure that everything's sort of set around you, and then you blend in, and you can learn a lot that way. Next step is obviously trying to originate things, but that's,
a lot of audience members don't know that when you go into a show, you get one run through, and it's only with piano.
That's right. Oh, God.
I know the night I went on for Wicked, it was the first time I'd done it with an orchestra.
Wow.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
And the lights.
Yeah.
And the lights.
Lighting too. You're like, I'm blind.
Yeah.
I have a new grace for like replacements and coming into a cast, just because it's like everyone else is already friends with each other and knows what they're doing. And I replaced in South Pacific, and so I was like the only new person, and I was so touched by how welcoming and warm everyone was, that like now at this point, if I'm in a show where someone else is replacing, I make sure to make them feel welcome and at home because I've been the new girl once, you know? So it's a rare thing to not be a part of the rehearsal process and creating it together with the rest of the people you're doing the show with.
Yeah.
It is very difficult.
Desi, you have to tell your story from Waitress, your London story.
Yeah.
Story. Talk about
so fast.
A show that rehearsal.
Oh yeah, they flew me over to the West End because they were out of Jenna's and they don't have anyone there to do the show, because here, if it happened, it would be like, Shoshana, where are you at? Like, come over, just where, you know, but it's over there, it's overseas. And they were like, they called me at 2 p.m. and I was on the flight to London at 9:30 that night.
Wow.
I slept, I took one day and slept, and then I had a quick talk through of the script and up in the lobby by the bar with the assistant director, and I could recall no lines. I was just like, totally like, and I was remaining calm, like, okay, it's gonna be okay, whatever. Look, I'm here. I'm a warm body in a costume. We're gonna make it. I remember, you know, it's gonna be fine. And I'm like, I'm here. So that's probably enough. And I had 2 seconds to meet everybody, and I kind of recognized that something for me. This is something I always tell young people, especially, is like, know yourself. Try to figure out what you need and know yourself. Because as soon as I connected with the people around me, I knew I could soar. So I knew that I needed that. So I took 5 minutes and I looked at people's faces and I said, hi, like, let me see you. And it all came flooding back. I had like 2 hours with them on stage. And so, yeah, I knew that I needed that because I didn't have any connection. I was just like feeling lonely and, you know, crazy. And then at Curtain Up, everyone in the audience knew. They had canceled 2 shows prior to that, and everyone knew I was there off of a plane, and the curtain went up and I was like Katy Perry. I mean, it was just like, it's like, it was so epic. And who cares at that point? It was such an abandonment of, again, just like, here we go.
Must go on.
Oh man, that story, like, I feel like it like circulated throughout the entire community. Like everyone was walking out over it.
Oh my God. I felt love from New York. I felt so much love from the city.
That jet lag is so brutal. You have to perform that.
I can't talk about the jet lag.
Oh my God. That was trash. Adam, have you ever gone in at the last minute?
I've never gone in at the last minute, but the majority of the stuff that I've done has been taking over. You know, I've only originated 2 roles, and those were the first 2 things that I did, and then everything after that was taking over. And I don't know what anyone else's experience is, but you know, you get 2 weeks to learn the role, regardless of how big or small it is. You know, and then you're in, and so and that can be pretty hairy. You know, that's incredibly hectic. And there's also a difference between, like, you know, taking over. Like, I stepped in for Andy for a week. You know, like, but he's the only guy who ever did the show. You know, there's a difference between doing that and then, like, and Desi can probably speak to this, like, when I went and did Chicago, I was the 52nd Billy. Okay. You know, so that's, and so, I mean, you know, that's like a different kind of machine, you know what I mean? And so it's literally just like, boom, go, you know.
Adam, you've originated 3. What about Disaster? You forgot about Disaster?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Of course, I forgot Disaster. It was so quick.
Adam and I did
but absolutely one of my all-time favorites. Greatest experience, one of the greatest experience I've ever had. But yeah, but taking over is, you know, I got to be honest with you, I prefer it. Because, you know, I want a job, and I want to know that I'm going to have a job for a certain amount of time. And I'm just, you know, I don't have the kind of personality that, like, wants to spend years of my life working on somebody, not knowing if in a week it can close. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go through that. I want to know, like, hey, this is a big hit, and you can come in and do it for a few months, and then great, okay, you know.
It's great job.
My kid's going to college in 3 months, you know. Like, I don't have time for it.
Speaking of Aida, one of the roles you originated, Andy and Orfeh, that version of Elaborate Lives that you sing, have you heard that, Adam?
I have not. No.
A reggae
We
version.
do a very interesting
Oh, you're
version.
kidding.
So
Oh, how cool. I got to see it. Is it on YouTube? Can I see it?
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
On Broadway.com did it for one of those series that they do, that one where they have people sing songs they didn't do.
Oh, yeah. I
I
can't wait
forget
to
what
see
it's
it. Oh,
called
that's
right now, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fun. You'll like
Yeah.
it. I think you'll like
it's
it.
really fun. I love
Oh,
it.
good.
I
I can't wait to see it.
love you guys. Every time I see you sing, you guys have such a great act. And you know,
Amazing.
it's just a joy. And we have to actually wrap this up soon.
That went by really quickly.
I could sit here for an hour
My God.
at least. Quickly, what role do you guys like? What's your dream role? Of roles that are out there. I know we all like to originate a role, but this was one of the fan questions.
I honestly would have loved and would have done anything and tried my hardest to play Amneris opposite Adam.
Oh, wow. Oh,
That was the one for me forever, for the rest of my career in any medium. That's the one that got away.
Wow.
oh, wow. Oh, cool. You would have been amazing.
Thank you. I think so too.
They made a big mistake.
You said it, I didn't, but boy, do I agree with you.
I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
first of all-
talk about perfect casting for Aida, which is Andy and Orphe.
Yes.
I didn't know him then. I was like, oh, if I could just play Amneris with Adam, that would be it. And I tried so hard. And that's why I'm doing weird versions of it now on Broadway.com.
I was hired for the standby for the tour, and it was like that or Saturday Night Fever, and I chose Saturday Night Fever just because I knew it.
Such a mistake.
I was going to say,
I'm sure
chose
the guy
one.
would have never gone off, and I would have been sitting in the back, like, getting fat and smoking cigarettes.
So Andy, quickly, everybody, how about your role that you want?
I feel so satiated by a couple of the roles that I've played that I'm like, I need something to play. I've always wanted to play Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. Like I remember that being like, oh my God. I'm like, please let me play Gaston. I was way too young for it, but at the time it was like.
I think you'd make a great Sweeney.
That's great, Sweeney.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm still through the mist, through the woods, through the.
Yeah.
How about Desi?
I've always wanted to play Millie in Thoroughly Modern Millie. I mean,
Oh, that would be
Oh,
great.
yeah.
and the tapping and there's so much to her, and she's hilarious, and like, I don't know. That's mine.
Absolutely.
It's
Time's up.
Tommy?
My dream role would probably be Timon from The Lion King because so I would love to play Timon and just be like that Nathan Lane role. Anything Nathan Lane does, I want to do eventually.
Good stuff.
Dreams.
I
And I think mine would be Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady.
Oh,
'Cause you
yeah.
get to be
Perfect.
bright and sassy and belty, but then also get to do all that soprano goddess at the ascot.
And Kevin?
yeah.
Mine? I'm going to go more classic. I want to play Falstaff.
Yeah. Falstaff.
In the Henrys.
Yep.
And Mary Wise of Windsor. I love that Shakespearean character the most. Adam, did you answer?
No. There's a few. You mentioned Sweeney Todd. That's one I always love would love to try. Jean Valjean is definitely one.
Epic.
Perfect.
And Max Bialystock in The Producers. That's
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
I remember auditioning for that, and Mel Brooks said, "You're too waspy. You're too waspy. You can't play a Jew. Here's the German. Go out and prepare that and read that."
Ironically enough, as a Jew, I've heard that quite often myself, which is "you're too waspy."
No, you're a surfer from California. I grew up Bronx.
This has been a complete joy, and we could go on for like an hour at least. But I hope we're raising a lot of money for the Cameo Cares campaign, and I hope I run into you guys and we have a martini together
Same,
sometime.
same.
Yeah.
Really
Please
great.
stay healthy.
I'm taking a
This was
screen grab.
fantastic with all of you. This was fantastic.
So good.
I gotta take a screen. And please, everyone, stay healthy and keep a social distance.
Here we go.
And I'm taking pictures. And also, we've been helping out. If I could, in all of the cameos that I've been doing, I've been asking the kids to help out their people that are vulnerable in their neighborhood, elderly. If you go out to food shopping, ask them if they need anything. Give a call to your grandparents and people who are shut in and can't see anyone, and really reach out to the vulnerable, because we're all in this together.
Indeed.
Hey, can I just say one thing before we go? Can we all give a shout out to Nick Cordero and his family? And,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Have everybody just sort of keep them in their thoughts.
All the time. All the time.
Yes, it's hit this
Thanks for
Broadway.
putting that
Thank
out
you,
there.
Adam.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have to say this. I say thank you. Thank you for all your requests. You can donate using the link in the description. And up next, our wildlife expert, Coyote, Peterson, and Cincinnati zoo trainers. And they're going to give you a fun look into Fiona the hippo's daily activity.
Best.
Yay!
I
I love
The
Fiona.
best.
Wow. How
Amazing.
about that? I'm staying on for that.
Come on, bye,
Thank you
everybody.
guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye, you guys. Love you.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys. Love you all so much.
Bye. I love you so
You
much.
too. So sweet.